Before we begin today's episode, this is the only time of the year where we ask you, our amazing listeners, to support the Special Chronicles 2026 Giving campaign. Your gift helps us operate our studio, continue producing weekly episodes, sharing inclusive stories and amplifying voices that deserve to be heard. Donate today at specialchronicles.com/give.
This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
I shudder thinking how the world can be so cruel. Lend my voice to those who can't. It's time we try, it's time we care, it's time we stand. It starts with a voice.
Welcome back to the Special Chronicles podcast, where we respect and voice people with special needs through the media. Today, we're honored to feature Trace, a ComEd EnergyForce ambassador with Best Buddies Illinois. Trace is part of a movement that champions inclusion, friendship, and opportunity for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. To learn more about Best Buddies, visit bestbuddies.org, and don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Special Chronicles podcast at specialchronicles.com or wherever you get your podcasts. So let's dive in. Please put your virtual hands together as we welcome Trace to Special Chronicles. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
And just imagine the audience is applauding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
You.
Yeah, it's good to have you. Get connected. I think we might have first met or got connected at the ComEd EnergyForce training, the beginning of the year. Does that sound right?
Yeah, man. I remember in from like a dispatch training. I remember I was of course like seeing you there and stuff, and yeah, it was truly awesome to see you and everyone else and stuff, who was wanting to do the ComEd ambassador opportunity, and it was really nice seeing you there too.
Yeah. Awesome, yes. So for our listeners, why don't you introduce yourself to listeners? Tell us what disability you're diagnosed with, your connection to our disability community, and your role with the ComEd EnergyForce program.
Okay, sure, Daniel. All right, so basically to start off, hi, my name is Trace Nardi, and of course, like you said in the beginning of your podcast, I am a ComEd EnergyForce ambassador and state ambassador for Best Buddies Illinois. So basically, to start things off, the disability that I was diagnosed with, Daniel, is basically for me, it's basically like as of course it's basically like a learning disability that I have, and for having said that, it was just like sometimes in the beginning, it was just a little bit hard to get things right away. And to being able to, learn things a little bit quicker than everybody else. So it's like just had to go with what go with my thing and just do the best I can and just let people know, saying, hey, I may have a disability, but that obviously doesn't make me any different than anyone else. And I just went with my disability ever since then. And basically the connection that you're asking to the disability community, for me, I see myself as basically as everyone else. Sure, we may have like everyone has has whatever disability that they have, and I know that we are trying our best to navigate the world and stuff with our disabilities that we have. But to me, I never see that as a whole barrier or like a challenge for me or for anyone else. But speaking for myself, the connection they have with them is that we are basically all unique in our own way, and each of us has our own unique abilities to make us shine. So basically, that is basically my connection to the disability community, and basically for the last the question at the bottom that I see is so basically, my role in the Common Energy Force Bachelor program, I am a Energy Force in Bachelor course. Liking it ever since, being able to share people about tips about how to save electricity, how to, I was of course like as we all know, like how to save money when using
Yeah.
electricity, being able to go to different events and stuff. That's really cool, and meeting new people and have them coming to the table or to the booth, obviously that we set up, which is super awesome. And yeah, man, being an Energy Force ambassador has been really something, and it's been really cool so far, man.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're going to dive a little bit more into that in a little bit, and as well as your involvement with Best Buddies. But
Sure.
first, take us back to your early years growing up with a disability. What were some of the challenges that you had? And then, as we know, like the focus both on this program, on Special Chronicles, as well as with Best Buddies, is not about our challenges, but about our joys and accomplishments because of our disability. So, uh, tell us a little bit about your early years and some of the challenges and accomplishments that you have had.
Sure, Daniel. So basically with my backstory, of course, and going up with a disability, it was basically for me, it was basically like, I wouldn't say challenging. I would say like it was just trying to navigate the world with my disability, and not trying to see myself that I was different than anyone else. I felt that, it's just like, hey, if people help me along the way and they help me learn things that I need to learn, and I'm really grateful for them. And it's just like I felt that, like, hey, if you help me out with a certain thing, and if you take your time with me, and if you model what I need to do, and however I need to learn this thing the best way that I can, then that's great. And for me, I was basically like a visual learner. So I would just like seeing things that were like right there. And I said, hey, say like, wait, hang on, you're like going a bit too fast. I said, we all have whatever speeds that we have, but I said, it's like, hey, can we take it down a notch? I said, I just gotta try to. I just need to see it a little bit in a different way, or a different light, as you may say. And when I explained that to certain people, I think they really started to get that and to understand that. And I think that was the big thing by letting people know about my disability. I was like in my early years and growing up, obviously, and that was always good to get that across to people. So getting to some of the accomplishments of disability, I think I gotta say it's like you said, for me, I'm just really proud for all the things I was able to accomplish with my disability. Like, hey, being able to become a common energy force master, that was super awesome, and it's a super cool thing. And it's like being able to, be at the orientation, learning what we had to do. Like, oh, you have to do 10 speaking engagements, so and so, and being able to get those done at a certain time. And for me, I figured, hey, this might not be a challenge to me, or I don't think it should be a challenge to anyone else. As long as I have the good support, along the way, and I was able to accomplish what I had to do with that, and with my stuff in Best Buddies. For me, I'm glad that people, when I told them about stuff, it made me happy that they celebrated me, and really that I was able to celebrate for myself, and I was able to try to try to be happy with what I accomplished, and it was and I gotta say it felt really nice to know, I would say, as well.
Awesome. So let's now dive into your involvement with Best Buddies. Uh, I I was involved with Best Buddies when I was in high school, and then in I want to say in 25, no, 16, 17, so, quite a few years ago. I spoke at the Best Buddies Leadership Conference in Bloomington, Indiana. So it was neat to experience that conference. So how did you folks get involved in Best Buddies Illinois, and what do you enjoy most about your involvement with Best Buddies?
Yeah. How I got involved, Daniel. I know that, of course, with Best Buddies, how I first got involved, I actually started in 2017 and stuff. So, and when I first learned about it, I actually joined. My first program was the Best Buddies Jobs program, and
Mm-hmm.
and that was kind of my first open thing to getting to know Best Buddies, and it felt good being able to having them guide me along the way to try to find an awesome job, and being able to find my likes and dislikes and stuff, and with me, of course, I actually was happy that they were able to get me a job at the O'Hare Airport, which I was, of course, where I currently work at because of Best Buddies and the Jobs program, and other stuff I was able to be involved in was the ambassador program and citizens, and of course being able to do this great opportunity with Comet and being a energy force in ambassador, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You said that through Best Buddies you got a job at O'Hare Airport.
Yeah, I was able to get a job at the O'Hare Airport in Chicago, man.
Awesome. So fun connection there. I'm one of 4 Special Olympics athletes that United Airlines hired,
Nice.
and I work at the airport as well.
Cool,
so what do you
man.
do?
Congrats, man.
What do you thanks?
Welcome.
What do you do at the airport?
Yeah, man, sure. I'll be happy to dive into that. So basically, man, I actually work with a company called Compass Group, and the airline that and then the terminal that I work in, man, is actually in Terminal 3 at the airport in Chicago, and I actually work with the airline the airline called a company called American Airlines. So basically, what I do is that I basically, like bus and clean tables and wipe
Awesome.
down tables and help clear stuff, and being able to do that. And it's been really rewarding, and it's been really cool being able to have a job and to basically to be really independent while doing it, man, too. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So,
Thank
so
you.
with United Airlines, I work in terminals 1 and 2, and we have
Oh, cool.
some gates in terminal 3. But yeah, maybe we'll run into each other.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that'd be super awesome.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I reckon that guy who I was just on the podcast with and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Thank you.
talking about some of the events that Best Buddies has, have you attended the Best Buddies International Leadership Conference as well as their Friendship Walk? And can you tell us about those events?
Sure, yeah. All right. So, yeah, that's it. Gotcha. So I was able to attend the Best Buddies Leadership Conference, actually, of course, from this year, and when I first started, I actually went to the Leadership Conference for Best Buddies in 2019, and that was my first time actually going to Bloomington, Indiana, and being able to do whatever track that that I wanted to do, whether it was jobs and bachelors and such. And it was pretty cool being able to attend that. Being able to speak outside the conference for the jobs program was very cool, and being on a panel was very cool in 2019. But I'll of course fast forward to this past leadership conference from July 2025 actually. Was actually got to do the ambassador track, and I actually got to give a speech in their small little auditorium, which was super cool. And I got to go on stage there, man. And I actually got to, at the very end of Leadership Conference, I actually got picked to actually go on the big stage, actually. And I got to say like a few lines there at the end on day 4, I think it was. And it was something. Everybody cheered and everybody was excited to see me and everyone else. And it was cool, man. So
Yeah.
the walk and the friendship walk. I'm sorry, Han. The Leadership Commons was great, and of course, speaking of the walk, actually, I actually got to speak at the walk too from this past walk in Chicago, and of course, it was at Soldier Field, and I got to actually be the main host. I actually at the walk or the main person, so that was super cool. Yeah, man, I never actually got to do it before, and when they told me about it, I was like, you seriously want me to be the main host guy? I said, or person and such, and I said, oh yeah, we want you to do like a speech. We want you to do like maybe like some calls to people to get them involved in the walk, read like a script and stuff. And I said, yeah, that's super awesome. And I said I was really, grateful for him to let me to doing that for the walk or from this past walk. And yeah, man, the friendship walk and visual conference are actually two awesome things, man. I would have to say.
Awesome. So, yeah, awesome. So let's now, so gears a little bit and talk about the ComEd EnergyForce program that we're both involved in. You're involved with through Bus Buddies with the EnergyForce program, and I'm obviously involved as an EnergyForce ambassador through Special Chronicles and this program here. So for yourself, and also if you know for Bus Buddies, so you can either answer this for yourself or Bus Buddies Illinois overall. But when and how did you and Bus Buddies get involved with the ComEd EnergyForce program?
I would say when I like how I got when I first joined the EnergyForce program and when I first got connected with the EnergyForce program, man, I would say it all started when they brought me up about this idea about being able to be in the opportunity and being able to be a part of it. And actually, man, an interesting thing is, man, I actually learned about it actually on the news, actually, man, on a TV, man. And they actually said, and they actually had people like on TV and stuff talking about the thing, and it was like, oh wow, this is super cool. Like, people from different organizations can be in this great organization called ComEd and being an EnergyForce program. And being an ambassador, and then when I got the email from Best Buddies, I said, "Hey, would you like to be an ambassador or a ComEd EnergyForce?" But I said, "Yeah, sure. I'm open to new opportunities. I would never shy away from anything that's new, and just saying, hey, sure, maybe a new thing, but I think I should be able to do this and." And it's been really fun, man, so far.
Awesome. Yeah. It's me. I think Sean from ComEd. I joined him. I want to say a couple years ago on TV. We did a live TV interview to talk about the ComEd EnergyForce program. So yeah, it's really neat to be involved. Over the past year, what do you I should say what have you enjoyed about being a ComEd EnergyForce ambassador and this experience?
Okay. Basically, man, what I enjoyed about being a ComEd EnergyForce ambassador for my first year of being it, what to say, man? I think it was really I'm gonna have to say, to be very truthful, I think it was really surreal. I think that it was really something that really opened my eyes. That it really helped me out to saying, hey, I was able to expand my public speaking skills by talking to new people, and that's what really helped me out a lot, and then made me a better speaker in general. And it was pretty cool. And I think that was my most favorite thing that I enjoyed during my first year being here from this past year. And like I said, and getting back to the experience, I thought it was good. It just I just far in the beginning, I just had to take some time to absorb what was being said. And once I did that, I thought, hey, yeah, I'm able to absorb this. I'm able to figure out what I got to do for this awesome experience, and just being able to just be able to be myself, and just being able to meet new people, and yeah, it was super fun being a comment enforcement semester for obviously for the very first time, and especially for Best Buddies Illinois, obviously in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Thank you, man.
as we both know, that there was various in-person events and online digital engagements that you do as an EnergyForce ambassador to educate the public about energy and solar efficiency. For example, on this particular podcast, this EnergyForce series, we talk about a lot of different energy and solar topics, and really kind of that's how I and that's how Special Chronicles were able to share this message and educate all listeners about what how to save energy. But for yourself, do you have a favorite memory of from the past year of being maybe it's today doing this podcast, or maybe it's another favorite memory, but do you have and it could be one or two, but do you have a couple of favorite memories from a couple of events or engagements that you have done as an ambassador?
Yeah, sure, man. To start off, man, I really for me, I really enjoyed, I guess there's so many things to do choose from, and all of them have been super great. I would I would have to say, guess I guess my favorite in-person memory, I'm gonna have to say being able to do the videos, all this stuff. I was able with my job coach, who was helping me out with this thing for ComEd, Nora Moran. And it was really it was really awesome and exciting being able to work with her, and being in ambassador for Best Buddies itself, and Best Buddies itself. It was really fun too, and being able to film these awesome videos, being able to give awesome tips to the community and stuff, or to the ComEd community, and it was pretty cool. And I'm really glad I was able to do that. Speak in person for some of the in-person events too. But I've got to say, man, my most favorite one of all, I'm just gonna say it, and I think this is my most favorite one of all time, man. And I would never lie, man. I'm gonna say, man, is just being on this podcast with you, man.
Awesome.
I really glad this was my most all-time favorite memory, being able to speak with you, man, being able to to share my journey of Best Buddies and ComEd and all that stuff, and just really having a conversation between us. So I think that was that's my most favorite one of all, man. Just
awesome,
doing
awesome,
podcast, man.
Awesome, yeah. It's fun. So for those of you that are tuning in, if you want to learn more about the ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador Program, you can go to comed.com/EnergyForce. Meet ambassadors like Trace and myself, and the many other ambassadors. I think ComEd has us listed on there. If you want to learn more about and get involved, and Best Buddies, bestbuddies.org. If you are tuning in and you're here in Illinois, where Trace and I are, you can find the Illinois chapter, or you can find, if you're tuning in from somewhere else across the country, you can find your local Best Buddies chapter. I believe those chapters across the country and across the globe. So yeah, bestbuddies.org. Definitely would recommend all of you get involved. As Trace talked about, the jobs program, the friendship program in schools, and many awesome. It's exciting to hear about all the great work that Best Buddies is doing for people like Trace and myself, and those with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And then finally, if you there's a little time on this panel, we need to turn off because it's just yeah, there we go. Okay. There you go. So if you enjoyed this episode, we've got tons of other EnergyForce related podcast content, specialchronicles.com/EnergyForce. Or at the end of the episode, I believe there should be a QR code that will show up on the screen at the end of the episode that you can scan that as well. But yeah, specialchronicles.com/EnergyForce. We got conversations with other ambassadors, as well as many topics. I think one of our most popular episodes this year in 2025 was an episode that we did about Oath Day and celebrating Oath Day, and about trees. Did not expect that to be one of our most popular episodes this year, but you guys all can go back and listen to that episode, and you can find that and many other energy related topics at specialchronicles.com/EnergyForce. With that, I know the time has just flown by, Trace, but it's been a lot of fun to have you on the program. And two final wrap-up questions here, and we'll get to the first, and then we'll get to the second after that. But do you have any final thoughts on your overall time here today on the Special Chronicles podcast that you want to share with our listeners?
Sure, man. I would say for my final thoughts, I think that this was an amazing experience, man. I'm really glad I got to be on this awesome podcast. I'm glad I got to be a guest. So that was super awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed the experience, man, and I really liked the questions that you asked, man. They were super awesome. They were on point. They were awesome, man. They were super cool. Yeah, no problem, man. And lastly, I like I said in the beginning, I was really glad to share my story of Best Buddies, and obviously how I became a common EnergyForce specialist for my very first time, man. So, yeah.
Awesome. So we've got one final question, because we don't just want listeners to listen to us, but bringing inclusion into their communities. And so this final question will get our listeners thinking a little bit, and but we've got a bumper to introduce that final question. Let's go ahead and roll that bumper.
We're not just athletes.
We are the ambassadors of an uprising.
Peaceful protesters.
In a rebellion against anyone
who has a fear of difference.
Difference.
Our demands are
Equality.
Dignity.
And the recognition of our
Shared humanity. We will not stop.
or accept anything less.
Today, our world is
More divided than ever.
And coming together has never been more urgent.
The revolution.
is inclusion.
Find out more at jointherevolution.org.
So, ever since I came back from the 2019 Special Olympics World Games in Abu Dhabi, been asking all of our questions. One final question, because of course we want to listen to the podcast, but even more than that, we want our listeners to bring inclusion into the communities, into the workplaces, into the schools, into the towns. And this final question is a really good call to action that will get our listeners thinking of how they can bring inclusion into their communities. And so, Trace, just like I've asked guest for the past 5-6 years, and I'll ask you as well. What does inclusion mean to you?
Yeah. Basically, what inclusion means to me is that we are basically, Daniel. We all, like I said for my quote that I said, we are all unique in our own way, and we are basically human beings like everyone else, and we don't let people tell us by saying, "Hey, you can't do this. Hey, you can't do that." We try to power through that, and we try to accept each other for who we are. We never judge people from the outside. There's only judge it by on how they are as a person. And I think it's just you try to take that to heart, and you just try to accept people, and you just get to meet people along the way that are obviously like that too, and you just try to be like accepting of everybody, and that's when you get to meet more people along the way as well, man. I would say.
Awesome. Well, that's a perfect way to wrap up.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
This episode. It's been a lot of fun talking with you, Trace. That's a wrap on our conversation with Trace Akamed, EnergyForce ambassador with Best Buddies Illinois. To learn more about Best Buddies, visit bestbuddies.org, and don't forget to follow the Special Chronicles podcast at specialchronicles.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for joining us and celebrating voices that matter. And until next time, let's continue to spread respect, inclusion, the power of storytelling, and we'll catch you next week right here on the Special Chronicles podcast. We've got some exciting content for you guys coming in 2026. Some exciting series that we are working on, inclusive housing, and hopefully covering the 2026 Special Olympics USA Games, as well as some other exciting content that is in the works. So excited to bring you all that. And if you all want to help us to because it's free for you to listen and watch this podcast, but it does cost money. I would hope and I'm very grateful if you all can support our 2026 giving campaign, specialchronicles.com/give, and as well you can support any amount helps, and it helps us to keep these lights on, this microphone plugged in, and these really empowering episodes coming to you every week. So until then, thank you again, Trace, for coming on the Special Chronicles podcast, and we'll talk to you guys all next week right here on specialchronicles.com.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Special Chronicles podcast. Our podcast was produced by Daniel Smukowski on the Special Chronicles Network. Follow Special Chronicles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Subscribe, rate, and review Special Chronicles on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Our website, specialchronicles.com, where you can stream our archives of over 500 episodes for free. Also, there's a list of our favorites, original series, award-winning columns, and blogs. And sign up for our newsletter to receive exclusive bonus content delivered to your inbox. Again, specialchronicles.com. Special Chronicles is hosted by Podbean Podcast Hosting. Our live streams are powered by StreamYard. Thanks, as always, to our business manager, Adam Smukowski, who always encourages us to never give up. I'm Daniel Smukowski, back next week with more stories.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.